fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
I still remember the night I first saw him, the dragon who would change my life forever. His scales glistened like polished obsidian under the moonlight, and his eyes burned with an inner fire that seemed to pierce right through me. I was a prisoner in the castle, a pawn in a game of power and magic, and he was the beast they kept chained in the dungeon. As a child, I had heard the stories of the dragon's power, of how it was said that breaking the links of its chain could unleash primal forces beyond our wildest imagination. They called it the dragon's ransom, a treasure that only the bravest and most cunning could claim. But I never thought I'd be the one to try. My name is Aria, and I'm a witch. Not just any witch, but a member of a powerful family with a long history of magic. My parents were killed in a battle with a rival clan when I was just a teenager, and I've been on my own ever since. I've been surviving by my wits and my magic, always staying one step ahead of those who would seek to use me for their own gain. But when I was caught by the castle guards and thrown into the dungeon, I knew I was in grave danger. The king had a reputation for being ruthless, and I had no doubt that he would stop at nothing to extract my secrets from me. That's when I saw him, the dragon. He was enormous, with scales as black as coal and eyes that glowed like embers. He was chained to the wall, his wings spread wide as he strained against the metal bonds that held him. I could feel his power, a pulsing energy that seemed to call to me. As the days passed, I found myself drawn to the dragon again and again. I would sneak down to the dungeon, bringing him food and talking to him in a soft voice. I knew it was foolish, but there was something about him that drew me in, something that made me feel alive. And then one night I decided to take a chance. I snuck down to the dungeon, my heart pounding in my chest, and reached out to touch the dragon's chain. It was hot to the touch, and I could feel the power coursing through it. I closed my eyes, focusing all my energy on the metal, and began to chant. The words were ancient, a spell that my mother had taught me before she died. I could feel the magic building, a surge of energy that seemed to grow with every passing moment. And then, with a burst of light and sound, the first link of the chain shattered. The dragon roared, a sound that echoed off the stone walls of the dungeon. I stumbled back, my ears ringing, and looked up to see him staring at me with an intensity that made my heart skip a beat. "Who are you?" he growled, his voice like thunder. "I'm Aria," I replied, my voice barely above a whisper. The dragon nodded, his eyes never leaving mine. "I am Kael," he said, "and you, little witch, are either very brave or very foolish." As the nights passed, I returned to the dungeon again and again, breaking link after link of Kael's chain. With each one I could feel his power growing, a primal energy that seemed to call to me. And with each one I could see the change in him, a subtle shift from beast to man. It was a slow process, one that required patience and dedication. But I was driven by a desire to free Kael, to unleash the power that lay within him. And as we worked together, I found myself falling for him hard. Kael was a complex man with a depth and richness that I had never encountered before. He was fierce and passionate, with a quick wit and a sharp tongue. And yet he was also vulnerable, a man who had been chained and enslaved for centuries. As the last link of the chain shattered, Kael stood before me, his eyes blazing with power. He was enormous, his body rippling with muscle and his wings spread wide. I felt a surge of fear mixed with excitement as he reached out and took my hand. "Thank you, Aria," he said, his voice low and husky. "You have given me my freedom." I smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. "You're welcome, Kael," I replied. "But now we have to get out of here. The king will not be happy when he finds out what we've done." Kael nodded, his eyes glinting with amusement. "I'm shaking with fear," he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Together we made our way out of the dungeon, avoiding the guards and making our way to the castle gates. We emerged into the cool night air, the stars twinkling above us like diamonds. As we walked, Kael told me about his past, about the centuries he had spent chained and enslaved. He spoke of his family, of his clan, and of the magic that lay within him. I listened, entranced, feeling a sense of wonder and awe. And as we reached the edge of the forest, Kael turned to me, his eyes burning with intensity. "Aria," he said, his voice low and husky, "I want you to know that I'm not just grateful for your help. I'm drawn to you deeply. I want to be with you to explore this thing between us." I felt a surge of excitement mixed with fear. I had never felt this way about anyone before, and I wasn't sure if I was ready. But as I looked into Kael's eyes, I knew that I couldn't deny the connection between us. "I'm drawn to you too, Kael," I replied, my voice barely above a whisper. Kael smiled, his eyes glinting with triumph. "Good," he said, his voice low and husky, "because I'm not going to let you go, Aria. You're mine now." As he pulled me into his arms, I felt a sense of surrender, a sense of giving myself over to this powerful, primal man. And as we kissed, the world around us melted away, leaving only the two of us, lost in the magic of the moment.